Hello everyone, welcome back to the Great Chronicles. This trial it just can't seem to end. We're getting close though. This dude, I forgot his name, the guy who presented himself as Eggert Benedict. We're pretty sure he's guilty. Just have to get there. And we should be pretty close, but, well, not sure exactly how close though. So, finger crossed, we can get there tonight. Okay, oh, the results of the... Okay, so we had results from analysis of the jacket Gina was wearing. Well, there you have it. The report, please, Inspector. Yes, sir. Traces of human blood were found on the overcoat of the defendant, Miss China Lestrade. From the extent of the stain, it would appear that they were the results of sputtering following a gunshot wound. Really? How would they... We know for a fact that is not the case, but alright. End of report. Oh, goodness me. Hey, Becky Stu. How are you doing today? See? What did I tell you? Objection. No. The blood on that coat is not Mr. Windybank's. Doing pretty good? That's nice to hear. I believe you didn't celebrate Christmas? What on earth makes you say that, Consul? The coat originally belonged to Magnus McGilded. Just before his coat was deposited at Windybanks, McGilded had fatally stabbed Mr. Mason Milverton. He's not worry too much about the cold or the damp. Oh. Oh yeah. Huh. Well, for the end of the year. But isn't it isn't the seasons reversed? How cold does it get over there? When during winter, I mean. Yeah, I didn't celebrate Christmas. Spent it making maps of the apartment. Wait, you're making maps of the apartment? Oh, you're planning the how do we say that? What you're gonna do with the place? It's summer. Yeah, it's summer right now. Yeah, the new apartment. You're planning the layout of everything, the furniture. But at the old place, it can be summer and you still cold. Oh. Wow, that's weird. Might not be that bad though. Depends on how hot it is. Summer is not that hot here. Oh. It's like 25 degrees max. Wow. Pretty sure Mrs. would love that. In winter it's like 5 degrees minimum. Well, not that bad. Over here it's been a bit cold, like last week, but this week it's like 10 degrees. It's kind of warm. So, the blood on that overcoat is the blood of the brickmaker from the omnibus case.
Objection!
Well, the dead cannot speak. Isn't that right, my Nipponese friend? Sorry, what? 2 months ago, in this very courtroom, did you not argue fervently for McGildy's innocence? I don't know if you've seen what happened previously, Package 2, but it's a weird thing that they're blaming me, well us, for defending the accused on another case, which is kind of weird. But that's how they get away with bad insulation and end up having winters that feel much colder than winters in colder places. Oh. Well, okay, yeah. It's too bad. You haven't seen? Yeah, so the first case we took in England was the case of a man named Magnus MacGilded, who supposedly had killed, stabbed a man in a carriage. And we were the defense attorney, so we tried to defend the guy. But as it turns out, he was guilty. And now they're blaming us for defending him. But we didn't know he was guilty. So it's kind of weird. Also, even guilty, the man has the right for defense. So I'm not sure what's the problem here. Isn't that the job of a lawyer anyway? It is! That's why it's super weird that they're I don't know, they're making a whole thing about all that. And it's not like we did anything weird or any... I don't know. We just try and defend the man. It's suspicious that you're doing your job. Yeah. They're acting like we were like complicit in the whole thing, even though we didn't even know the guy. It's kind of weird. And yet, now that the man is dead, you brand him as a murderer. Oh, the guy is a drama queen. Your conduct shatters any shred of respect you may have earned for yourself in this country. Oh, but that was... I call it a bold disgrace. Treachery, that's what it is. How to determine whether the blood on that coat is 2 months old or not? Even a stereoscope couldn't help the answer to that problem, Papouch. It can't be done! The guy is a stereoscope fan. He wants to do everything with stereoscopes. But... We use Mr. Sholmes' specially formulated... Mr. Sholmes is a detective, not a chemist. Would you put such faith in a chemical formula devised by me, for example? When I'm a communications officer? I held out Pirosky to starving boy, and he ran away crying. What? What does that mean? Sherlock Holmes is barely more than a figment of the public's imagination. His name carries no weight in this courtroom. No weight at all. How could you say that? Victory is sweet indeed. This proves that my testimony is the whole truth, from start to finish. I don't know why they're I don't know why they're so quick to believe this guy, where he blatantly lied before.
How do you arrive at such a conclusion, sir?
As the witness said, the accused coat was spattered with the blood of the victim. The only way Mr. Graydon could possibly have known that fact is if he saw it happen. In other words, his testimony is solid. The conclusion is singular. It was the accused who shot the victim in this case. That is the whole truth. Ah. My lord, who's talking? Why don't we know who's talking? Oh, been a long battle this one, but this old warhorse has something to say now, if you please.
Mr. Foreman?
As of this moment, sir, the squadron has reached its final decision. No, they're gonna say she's guilty. Come on now. Give me a sec. It's not summer here, but I feel a bit hot. Okay. Ready, men. All for one now. Sir.
Guilty.
No.
Guilty.
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 Gonna have to do a simulation examination again.
Well, it would appear the ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached an unanimous verdict.
What's with the flames? Okay, so there's a black and a white flame. Each of the jurors can decide whether the accused is guilty or not. If they think it's guilty, they're guilty. They're gonna send a fireball into the black one, or if they think they're not guilty, they're gonna send a fireball in the white one. And you know, as the weight of the flames is different somehow, then the scales are gonna go one way or another. Right now, it's the guilty side. It's all, you know, physics. Yeah. You know, more fire is heavier. That's how it is. The defense has consistently failed to unpick this witness testimony. Here's to any attempt you may make at unpicking the jurors' decisions, being equally successful. Oh, I don't believe it. I've come so far. How is it all unraveling in me so fast? I don't know why unraveling is highlighted like that, but okay. He had a healing glass of wine. Yeah, he's got glasses and bottles. He's constantly, you know, breaking his glasses, throwing the glasses into flames, stuff like that. He likes drama. How very distressing. Who's that? To be held in such low esteem. Oh, it's Scholz! To be held in such low esteem! Won't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, he's disguised himself.
Officer, you've delivered the report now. That would be all, thank you.
It occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Naruhodo, that scientific truths are determined not by science, but by none other than the human mind.
I know that voice. Am I going mad? Ah! He suddenly has a mustache now. Wait, did you have it before? Miss Sholmes! I would never have guessed. What is the meaning of this? Order! 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 What business do you have here, detective? The last I heard, you were recuperating in hospital. As well I would be, had I not been set upon an errand. What errand? Hurry, it's really you. You're awake at last. I called it, yeah. Well, it wasn't very, hard. Yes, good day, Iris. I appear to be rather late to rise. My apologies. Now, my lord, if you will humour me. In what manner, sir? I have something of great importance I wish to give to the young lawyer over there. I need no more than 5 minutes. Would you be so kind as spare us the time? Look at Detective Gregson. What say you to this, Lord Van Zeeks? This trial has taken many hours of the course time, having spent so long already. Exactly. Having spent so long already, we don't want to go wasting any more precious time. As I was saying, having spent so long already, it would seem churlish to deny the defense a mere 5 minutes. It's been hours already, yeah. Hey! Very well then, counsel, you have 5 minutes. Wow, what's going to happen? My dear fellow, I apologize for my tardy arrival. Mr. Sholmes, are you alright now? Alright, I'm all wrong. He's changed? Really? Has he? Oh yeah, he means his outfit. Yeah, he removed the disguise. Sorry, what? I've only just managed to summon the strength to stand. Man, I asked the judge for 5 minutes. But I fear even that may prove too much for me. Pray, forgive me should I pass out. Really? Okay. Let's make this discussion as short as possible then. Holy, this place is full of idiots. None of them can see how wonderful your chemical blood analysis is. Well, that concoction of mine was really just a bit of sport to assist me in my investigations. I never took the trouble to refine it for appraisal by the scientific community. An oversight on my part. Sorry. Alright. Modesty? Surely not. But enough of that. I'm here to give you this, my dear fellow. What is it? Is this something from Sato-san? What's that? A lavender furoshiki wrapping? A leaving present from Mrs. Sato. Miss Sato. From Sato-san? If possible, matters were to be settled without me giving you this. Those were her instructions when she asked me to do her this favor. I don't understand. Hey, just realized, look at the Sholmes goggles. They've been made by Iris. Mr. Sato foresaw today's events, I believe. She knew that the culprit would attempt to escape justice by means both devious and hand-to-hand. And that you, Mr. Naruhodo, fighting fairly as you are, want to do... as you are... Wait, what? Fighting fairly as you are, want to... This makes... Okay, this is a problem in this place. Would find yourself in considerable peril. And that very moment of crisis, you were to be given this small parcel. Those were the dear lady's instructions. Oh, a living present from Sato-san. Whatever could it be? Wait, I know this. Wait, do I know this? I've seen that before. What is this? Oh, it's the machine I made. Yeah, but what is it already? Ah. Okay, what about the cat? Oh look, I guess this is my latest invention. What? Oh, it's the thing to make doors indoors for cats. But what of it? Why do we... Wait, what? What is that? I call it the cat flapomat. It can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Wagi in seconds. What's Susie up to? Oh, Mr. Sato muttered the following words before she left. I'm a failure. I don't deserve to be a judicial assistant. That's what she said. What? Didn't she say something like that? You really are the best judicial assistants in the world. Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure. Why is he saying that? Whatever did she mean by that, Mr. Sholmes? That night, when you left Windybanks in pursuit of the thieves, Mr. Sato made use of this contraption for a certain purpose. Wait, what? That is your answer, dear fellow. Oh, wait. She made the window in the door? What? No, not at all cryptic then. Not at all cryptic then. Sato-san used this cat flap mat that night, but why? The cat flapper mat has been entered into the court record. Your 5 minutes is over. We're out of time already. Wait, we have to look at the flapper mat. Okay, is there anything special about it? Whoa, those vicious teeth look like they could rip through almost anything. Oh, they're good, aren't they? They're made of a special alloy I developed just for the job. The cutter rotates 10 times per second, so it can get through any kind of door in no time at all. And what are the two parts at the top there? Ah, those are for attaching hinges to the section of door that gets cut out. Right, of course. Nothing can match this machine for power. It can make mincemeat mincemeat of even the toughest of doors. Sounds so charming and friendly when you say that what it's for, but it feels like the reality of the cat flappermat is that it's a grim weapon of door destruction. Yeah. I gotta agree on that. Oh, Wakaha is so adorable. There's nothing I wouldn't do for him. Even developing deadly weapons. Okay. Oh, there's a little bubble thing. So you can make it, you know, level and stuff. She's thought of everything. Okay. So, package 2. Since you didn't see anything, any of those, look at the door over there. Oh! That's the thing. That's the thing. If you look at the door there, there's no... Look at the door and there's a little flap over there. But it wasn't there before. So the guy could not have looked inside. Oh, that's the thing we didn't know. Okay. But he said it. He said he did look through the trap door. It's subtle in the pictures. Yeah, because you shouldn't be. You're not supposed to see it before then. I'm grateful to you for affording us that brief recess, Mr. Reaper. I need no thanks, detective. After all, the die is cast. Is it really, though? The jurors are unanimous in their leanings. No doubt my learned friend will consider a summation examination. But any attempt to alter the verdict now would be utterly futile. I wonder... Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? The rest is down to you, dear fellow. What is your plan? The rest is down to me. I need to be careful here. If I make a wrong move, the trial will end badly. Okay, let's save then. Alright? Okay. My lord, the defense requests... Oh, further cross-examination.
Objection!
The jurors have spoken. Protocol dictates that you may not cross-examine a new witness now.
Objection!
The defense is not asking for the cross-examination of a new witness. Rather, to continue with one of an existing witness. What? Oh, it would appear that a rather important detail has escaped your attention, Mr. Ripper. My lord. Wait, what? Why are we seeing that again? Requesting your lordship's permission to interrupt the cross-examination. Thank you, officer. Very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended. I presume you have no objection, counsel? No, my lord. Oh, so nobody can say anything then?
If Bruno asks to resume his cross-examination of Mr. Graydon.
The court is obliged to allow it.
I wonder what happens if you pick the wrong thing. Is this game over?
This is absurd. I would remind those present that this is my courtroom. I decide what happens. I concur that the defense is entirely within its right to request the continuation of the cross-examination. However, I will not permit an unremitting protraction of these proceedings.
An unremitting protraction of this proceeding? I mean, does it mean he doesn't want it to be too long? Unremitting protraction? Well, I guess that's what it means. I don't know.
Therefore, I have decided to afford the defense one final opportunity in concluding the cross-examination. Counsel, you may choose but one statement from the witness's testimony, and but one piece of evidence to present in support of your argument against it.
A single chance to present evidence?
If following that, the situation remains unchanged, I shall move to adjudication.
It means that he's gonna pronounce the sentence, right?
Is that clear, counsels? You will not press the witness any further.
My lord. Yes, my lord.
A single statement and a single piece of evidence. Most generous. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's high time. I fell in the dead faint. I leave this in your capable hands.
Wait, what? Okay.
Mr. Sholmes! Snake! Snake! To stand so insouciantly before the court in a state of such high fever. Either the man has extraordinary strength of mind, or an extraordinary lack of feeling. Or maybe both.
I imagine he's feeling very little now. The detective is sleeping soundly in one of the antechambers. Oh, strike a man when he's down, why don't you?
Well then, counsel, are you fully prepared?
Yes. One statement, one piece of evidence. I won't let Mr. Sholmes down. Oh, Iris. And I won't waste this final chance that Susato-san has given me. Okay, it might not be very long, but I think the epilogue is gonna be a bit longer. This is going to decide the entire outcome of the trial.
Very well then, under the terms I have outlined, you may resume the cross-examination.
Okay, we're gonna save there because been a bit of oh no, we can make mistakes here. Okay, we have a few chances. Okay, when Windybanks threw the Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. That a different save? I don't think it is. Why? I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. Okay, that's the thing. We have to present... Do we present a picture, though? I think we have to present a picture. Oh, do we present no, it's not. I won't care about that. I think we have to present a photograph because it shows there's no peephole in the door. Okay. Let's go then.
Objection.
That reveals a damning inconsistency. That last statement.
Damning, you say?
Oh, isn't it the thing?
As I look at you, Counsel, I see your trembling hand, your pallid expression, and your perspiring brow.
Huh?
It seems to me that is a damning inconsistency here, with a misplaced confidence in your assertion.
What? I think. Oh, he has a damning tongue. I think we have to use the catomat. Okay, we're gonna present the cat flappomat then. Must be it.
Objection.
Oh, that's it. The music stopped.
What on earth is that eccentric contraption, Counsel?
Oh, it's my cat flappomat, my lord. It makes a way for cats to get in and out of a room. It can cut. Oh, god damn it! It can cut through any door you can think of and make a new little door in the middle of it. That's right, my lord. It's a device for creating so-called cat flaps. Small doors for cats to come and go as they please without... I'm sure we can all work that out for ourselves. But that cat lover's contrivance has no possible relevance into this case. Oh, really? Of course it doesn't. To start with, there was no cat flap in the pawnbroker's door.
Not being a keeper of cat myself, I'm afraid I fail to see what this has to do with the matter at hand.
Perhaps it would help if I described its function another way then. This contraption is able to create a peephole in any door you can imagine, in practically no time at all.
I beg your pardon. A peephole, you say?
2 nights ago, we arrived at the scene only minutes after the murder of Mr. Windybank had taken place.
Oh, that's right. According to the paperwork at the yard, it was you, your Japanese assistant, and Sholmes.
Oh, the Skulking Brothers are here. Yes, the 3 of us were together, and it's recently come to my attention that my assistant made use of this device at the time.
Your assistant did what?
There was a peephole in the storeroom door. I can attest to that. Because I looked through the peephole myself, in order to see inside the locked storeroom. This is ridiculous. What are you trying to say? Of course there was a peephole in the door. I said as much in my testimony. How else could I have witnessed the crime, for pity's sake? Yes. How could you? Ah, that is the question. What?
Counsel, kindly say what you mean, please.
Alright, it's time. Time to strike the final blow. What I mean is this, my lord. My assistant made the peephole in the storeroom door, and until such time as she did, the door had no hole in it to look through. What? No!
Objection.
This is a farce.
Are you really suggesting that the peephole in the door was...
Yes, it was created only after the incident had taken place by my judicial assistant using this device.
Your assistant tampered with the crime scene, whilst being fully aware of the gravity of her actions? That is a most serious act of vandalism.
For which I humbly apologize, my lord. It was in the few minutes that I left the scene in order to pursue the skulking brothers and alert the police. Nevertheless, in the light of this new information, it becomes apparent that Mr. Graydon's testimony is riddled with holes, unlike the door.
Riddled with... explain yourself, counsel.
The majority of Mr. Graydon's testimony that appears to incriminate the defendant is based upon what he witnessed through the peephole in the storeroom door.
Yes, that filthy girl shooting the man in the back.
However, if at the time of the incident that peephole did not yet exist in the door, there's no possible way that you could have seen what you claim to have seen. In short, your entire testimony is a pack of lies. And I slap you in the face with my phrase.
Order! 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 Is there any credence in this revelation?
Objection!
None whatsoever. As my learned friend must surely realize. Exactly. This is just some cheap trick designed to discredit me.
I'm afraid not, sir.
Of course it is. Do you seriously expect people to believe that plaything can cut through a solid wooden door? Oh yes, I designed it to be very powerful. It can cut through even the toughest of doors. That's absurd. I don't believe it for a second. Ha ha! I had a feeling you'd say that.
I hoped you'd say that.
What? Waggy, gooey, it's time for dinner. Well? Oh, young lady, this is the Old Bailey. One does not make cat flaps in the oak paneling at the Old Bailey. I'm not done yet. Don't worry. This doesn't mean that the peephole in the storeroom door at Windybanks was made by your machine. And there's no way you can prove that it was. No, but it's easy. What? The cat flaps my cat flapomet creates are all of a fixed size, and the dimensions of the peephole at Windybanks are an exact match. Hehe, all silk is lost for words.
Excellent work, Harris. Thank you.
And now it's my learned student friend's turn to be lost for words, I feel.
Yeah?
I believe your judicial assistant has already left the country for your Eastern Island home.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Then you may have some difficulty in establishing all of the facts. For the sake of argument, let us assume the peephole has dimensions that are a perfect fit for this contraption. In that case, when was the peephole cut? The prosecution demands proof of your answer. Man, we really didn't see that coming. Asking for proof? What is the purpose of your line of inquiry, Lord Van Seeks?
It's very simple, my lord. The defense argues that the peephole was created after the incident using this device. But now that the perpetrator has returned to her native land, she cannot testify to the fact. There is no proof. Well, even if she testified, though, there would be no more proof, though. And for as long as the defense remains unable to prove when the peephole was made, my learned friend's claim amounts to nothing more than a baseless accusation.
What? Indeed, that is so, Lord Van Seeks. Well, counsel.
Oh, don't give up now, Runa. This is the time to create your own opening and force your way through. Oh, I don't know if I can do this, but I do know one thing. Sato-san is the greatest judicial assistant in the world. We should give her a t-shirt for that. Or a mug, maybe?
Very well. The counsel for the defense will present evidence to support the claim made. Prove that the peephole in the door of Winterbank's storeroom was created after the event, and not before.
Well, that's easy. We've got that.
Take that!
What are you? A print from the detective's infernal cameras again? My judicial assistant, Mr. Sato Mikotoba, is an extremely intelligent and capable woman. Capable woman. Which is why I never had any cause to doubt that she would have considered this scenario and made sure I had the necessary proof.
And the necessary proof is this photographic print, counsel?
This print shows a scene in the shop moments after the defendant entered the premises. Agreed. And it also shows the accused mercilessly wielding a gun in the direction of the defense's broker. But more to the point, it pictures the storeroom door in the background.
Let me see that print again. I don't believe it. This really is quite remarkable. The door to the storeroom is completely devoid of a peephole of any description.
Mr. Graydon, you couldn't possibly have witnessed the crime as you claim to have done, because at the time it happened, there was no peephole in the door. In other words, your testimony is a catalogue of lies.
Order! 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 I am satisfied that the defense has substantiated its claim beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness' testimony was entirely fallacious.
That's not the only thing we now know beyond all reasonable doubt. My learned friend's assistant guilt can no longer be denied. The woman tampered with the crime scene. But more importantly...
Good Lord, there's more? Lord Van Seeks?
The defense may have established a reprehensible instance of perjury.
But that is no proof that this man is the victim's killer. Yes, that's right. What? I was there at the scene, it's true. And I was shot in the arm, it's true. But that's all. Yes, in fact, if you look at the circumstances, I am the victim here. Oh, please, no. Oh, I don't believe this. But we don't care about that. We know that Gina is not guilty. But they're right. As it stands now, I don't have any definitive proof that he's the culprit. Well, what about the guns? We know that... Oh, come on now. He's the only one who has a gun who could have shot the man. Still, he can't worm his way out of it now. Iris? You know what to say. There's no point locking the cat's door after the cat has bolted. Wait, do they say that? Really? Isn't that right, Runa? Maybe. As Holly always says. One lie begets another. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. That might have been a line I wrote for him in one of my stories. Okay. Well, no matter who said it first, you're right. Mr. Graydon, not only did you give false testimony to the court, but the lies you told make no sense. Make no sense? What do you mean by such a remark? What you said in your testimony revealed that you know something you shouldn't have known. In other words, there is a fundamental inconsistency in your statement. What?
Objection!
This is provocative talk, counsel. Won't you enlighten the court? Explain this alleged inconsistency. Iris was right. One lie begets another. The inconsistency is revealed by the lie in the witness's statement. They show that Mr. Graydon had knowledge of something he shouldn't have known anything about, namely, the blood stain on the coat. The blood stain that was present on Mr. Lestrade's coat. Oh, that's right. The victim's blood splattered all over her when she shot him. But how could you possibly have known that? Obviously, because I saw her do it to the people in the... I see what you mean. The point is not that you lied in your testimony, Mr. Graydon. It's the nature of the lie you concocted that is so revealing. You're not making any sense. Then let me ask you a simple question. How is it, Mr. Graydon, that you knew of the existence of the people in the storeroom door? What? Well, obviously, Has the cat got your tongue, witness? The peephole in the door was made after the incident occurred. And once I returned to the shop, having failed to catch the two burglars, Scotland Yard's investigators arrived immediately. Since that time, the police have been at Windybanks constantly, carrying out their investigation. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson? Well, Yes, of course. The place is chock full of pawned articles, and my lads have to thoroughly examine them all. So I gave the order to have officers working around the clock in shifts to get through it all. And consequently, there's no way that you, Mr. Graydon, could have gained access to the shop. And the door is at the very back, so you couldn't have just seen that from the front. Therefore, you should have known nothing about the people in the storeroom door. So the fact that its existence formed the basis of your testimony is completely inexplicable.
Objection.
And yet, the fact remains that Mr. Graydon did maintain that he witnessed the crime take place through the people in the door.
How on earth is that possible?
Wait, who's...
Could I have a word, please, Lord Van Zeeks?
Speak, Inspector.
It's just that I really ought to be getting back to the station, now to put it in my report. There's really nothing more I can add to this testimony, so if it's not the same to you...
Permission denied.
Oh,
It's not all the same to me, Inspector. Not at all. You will remain exactly where you are until this trial concludes.
Of course, sir.
Mr. Graydon. You shouldn't have known about the existence of that people. Which can only mean that you must have been informed about it by somebody else. Huh, who could that be? Huh.
Objection.
Stop there, my lone friend. You realize, I trust, that the words you just uttered have extremely serious implications. Yes. But the defense believes that the details about the case that Mr. Graydon claims to have seen must have been revealed to him by a certain person before this testimony. And in fact, considering a particular clue we have, there's really only one person that could be.
Who is the person in question, Counsel? Who gave this witness details of the crime scene to facilitate his first testimony?
Oh, it's Gregson! Why? Why did he do that? He seemed like a nice dude. I love those guys. I'd love to see them all in another case.
Take that.
The truth is, it can only have been you, Inspector Gregson.
Me?
Objection.
You had better have some proof to substantiate such a crass claim, my learned friend. Consider the fact that we have only been aware of Mr. Ashley Graydon's identity for the last few hours. We learned of it only during the course of the trial today.
Indeed, preparation for his testimony were made with great urgency during our hour-long recess. While the police executed the subpoena and brought the man here for the communication from the communication station.
And until that time, Mr. Graydon would have had no idea, no inkling, that he would suddenly be required to appear in court.
Are you suggesting that at such time as he was summoned?
Yes, my lord. Until then, it's reasonable to assume he knew nothing of the people. It was only once Mr. Graydon was in the stand that he realized his position. That he would have to defend himself against the accusation that he was the third intruder.
You're suggesting to the court that it was while his trial was in progress that he received the information? So that he could commit perjury in order to save his skin?
Exactly. And the only person with knowledge of the investigation that he had any contact with is you, Inspector Gregson.
This is a blooming outrage. Why would I be giving away details of our investigations to this fellow, eh? I was summoned to his lordship's chamber during the recess. In any case, haven't you forgotten that? Quite true. I had a number of questions regarding the events that transpired at the pawnbrokery.
Which means the first time these two laid eyes on one another was after proceedings resumed following the recess. Since then, they've been in full view in the stand, where such illicit discussions couldn't possibly have occurred. But we've seen them talking. Come on, man. Oh, I've just remembered something, Bruno. What is it, Iris? There was one time before, wasn't there? I think it was when Ginny was satisfying. Oh yes, now that you mention it. When the bailiff was dispatched to retrieve MacGilda's music box from the scene of the crime. That's it. It was during that testimony. I remember finding it strange at the time. Mr. Graydon and his inspector seemed to be having some kind of secret discussion. It would have been possible for you to give Mr. Graydon the information he needed then.
Oh, you little chorag! You're making all this up. I'm a respectable Scotland Yard inspector, for crying out loud. Why would I do something like that? Why would I be giving away confidential details to the like of this bloke?
Admittedly, you wouldn't have had any reason to do something like that for no gain. But perhaps it was part of a deal of some kind. Then it starts to make more sense.
What deal, counsel?
I wonder if perhaps, in exchange for details about the people at the crime scene, Mr. Graydon agreed to give a certain something to the inspector.
I'm sure I need not remind the inspector that if found to be true, striking a deal of any kind with a witness would be considered a gross case of malfeasance.
Malfeasance?
Well,
Objection!
It's becoming clear that jumping it in with accusation is this Nipponese student's specialty.
I don't do that.
But with the stakes so high, the prosecution is not prepared to listen to baseless charges. It is incumbent to the defense now to present evidence in support of this diabolical claim. Evidence? Just what are you proposing that the inspector demanded of the witness in return? The court must see proof of this alleged deal. Oh, god damn it. We don't have any proof. We can only have suspicions. If Inspector Gregson really did strike a deal with Mr. Graydon, then logically, there's only one thing he could have asked for. That must be it. Okay, I know it's the disc, but... Oh, Bruno, do you think it could pay? Yes. It's the missing link that would join all the dots together in this puzzle.
I must press you for an answer now, Consul. What evidence explains the nature of the alleged deal that Inspector Gregson made with the witness?
I'm gonna say it because you know what? Pretty sure I know, but maybe I don't. Okay. The music box. It must be the music box. Okay. Let's go for it.
Take that!
Oh, the music stopped.
Inspector Gregson.
Besides this murder, is it not true that you've been working on another very important case?
What are you getting at now, Sunshine?
Is it possible that this other top secret case is what's alluded to in this newspaper article here? The classified secrets being leaked overseas from the Ministry of Justice.
How the bleeding Nora could you?
We discovered during the course of this trial the music box deposited at Windybanks by Magnus McGilded. A special music box designed to play 2 discs at once. It would seem very likely now that encoded on the pair discs that were in McGilde's possession are the leaked classified secrets. Oh, for those of you who weren't there before, we found a music box. So we found a music box disc first. Let me show you that. Can we look at that? There's a music box disc here with pins that is played in this kind of music box. I'm gonna open this side because otherwise you won't really see. So you have here, you have the one side with a disc and one without. So you have those pins here that are hit by the pins on the disc, and they make noise. Except it makes no sense. It's only one note on each side, with a different note. And it's not Morse code, even if it sounds like it. Because for Morse code, you need 2 different tones to distinguish between the short and long dots. And so we have 2 different notes on each side. And so if you play both discs at the same time, you can have Morse code then. That's the whole thing. So I put it to you, Inspector, that in order to recover the second of the discs containing those secrets, you covertly made a deal with Mr. Graydon, in which you exchanged the disc for details of the case.
You little... Oh! Order! Order! Order!
On the day of the incident, when we met you at Windbanks, you said this.
I'll be taking that, whatever it is, of McGilded's down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over.
No, don't. Don't give it to him. It's mine. That is mine.
I'm sorry, miss, but anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken in as evidence now.
Scotland Yard already knew at the time, isn't that right? That Magnus McGilded was involved in the stealing of government secrets.
My orders were... recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry. And do it on the QT. Strictly hush-hush. The QT? The quiet, okay. And that explains why, when I presented this disc as evidence to the court, you objected so heavily, I presume. Because you knew that it contained highly confidential information. Blimey, not likely. I wasn't sure of it myself. I realized there was a possibility, that's all. Inspector, surely you're not saying that in order to acquire the second of this music box disc, you did indeed reveal confidential details of the crime scene to the witness? To aid and abet this man in giving false testimony?
There's no other way that Mr. Graydon could have known of the existence of the people. It's the only explanation. A deal was struck between these two men. The reaction of, innocent people. If, and I stress if, this sobering assertion turns out to be founded in truth, it would mean that the second disc is, as we speak, here, in this very courtroom. Wait, what? In this room? How could you possibly make a claim like that? Because Inspector Gregson is a Scotland Yard detective. What?
What's that supposed to mean, eh?
As a seasoned policeman, the inspector will have approached this alleged deal with caution. Certainly, he would not have accepted a gentleman's agreement in this matter. No, he would have insisted on having the article agreed upon in the palm of his hand.
Good gracious, that you mean to say Inspector Gregson already has the item in question in his possession? He has the second disc actually on his person?
Yes!
The defense demand that the inspector is searched at once. Oh, definitely. They could only have struck the deal with each other when Jeannie was testifying before. And Grexy hasn't moved from the witness stand since. My lord, please. Order an examination of his personal effects immediately.
Well, Inspector. This young lad wants to tone down his imagination. He's insulted me in my profession quite enough.
What?
However, if it'll put this matter to bed and dispel any doubts about my involvement, then I'll happily submit to a body search.
What? He's going to agree to it? I presume you're aware of the precipice on which you now teeter, my learned student friend. You've made a most serious allegation against Scotland Yard here. If, following the search of the inspector's personal effects, no disc is found, you will be deemed unfit for court service. This trial will end, and my country's government will formally demand of yours that you are severely reprimanded. That sounds serious.
Indeed, to have a visiting student make such defamatory remarks about our country's most senior police force is not something Her Majesty's government will be able to overlook. Oh, you're just threatening Bruno because you're scared.
The accusation is beyond serious. You must be prepared for grave consequences.
It's true. I can't imagine Gregson would have accepted a gentleman's agreement for something so critical. The disc must have physically changed hands, which means the inspector should have it. But somehow, something doesn't feel quite right here.
Very well, Counsel. You know the implications, so let me ask you one final time.
Yes, my lord?
Do you still persist in formally requesting a search of the inspector's personal effects?
Oh, let's save, because we are cowards. Well, I am. Okay.
Search someone else.
I think we need to search someone else. But who? I mean, Greg, the other guy, I forgot his name. Graydon. Let's search someone else. I'm pretty sure we need to search someone else. Yes, the defense formally demands the search be conducted.
Well...
Don't say you weren't warned. But your typical Nipponese stubbornness may well land you in hot water this time. Perhaps the lesson will do you some good.
Fair enough. I've got nothing to hide. Very well then. Bailiff, conduct a search of the inspector.
No, we're not very sure what we want. The defense demands a search, but not of Inspector Gregson.
What?
Now, what's all this? I'm the one you're accusing, aren't I? I thought you wanted to search me.
No, Inspector, not you. Somebody else.
What's the meaning of all this, eh? Lost it at last, have you, sunshine? The court shouldn't have to put up with this nonsense. You're being completely irrational.
Who's talking? Be quiet, all of you. Wait, what? Bruno's doing what you all told him to do and having the courage of his convictions. So you should respect that and listen to what he has to say in good faith. Because that's the British way.
Well said, young lady. Indeed, this court is in awe at the defense counsel's conviction and eagerly awaits his next words. You what? Now don't be hasty, my lord.
If I'm not mistaken about the things I've seen in court today, I'm fairly sure that I know who has that disc at the moment. There's only one person can be.
Counsel, of whom do you request this search now?
Of Graydon. Because, I mean, the Skulkin brothers, they don't have anything to do with all that. Oh, I love their faces. Okay, this man. He's the accomplice.
Take that!
Mr. Ashley Graydon, my lord. The defense demand that he be searched at once.
Very well. I presume you will not protest, Mr. Graydon.
Au contraire. Oh wait, are we?
Man, did they put the thing on Nash? And so, a brief body search was carried out by the court bailiff. A few short minutes later, it was revealed that Mr. Graydon had nothing unusual on his person at all. What? No!
Well, counsel,
If I'm not mistaken about the things I've seen in court today, I'm fairly sure that I know who has that disc at the moment. There's only one person it can be. Did they? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna save because, you know, let's be certain that we don't have to do all of that again. Who could have the disc? Sherlock Holmes? I think it must be Sherlock Holmes. Because it's a very... has to be a very weird choice. And he collapsed between the guys. Okay, let's try him. It's not him? My lord! The defense demands this person be searched at once.
good grief. What possible relation could exist between this person and the case, counsel?
Objection!
It would seem that my Nipponese friend does not understand the gravity of requesting such a search. If the defense counsel's aim is humiliation, perhaps this will give him a taste of his own medicine.
Oh no, that's not good. If Grexy doesn't have the disc at the moment, the question is, where could he have hidden it? The trouble is, he's been in the witness stand the entire time, in full view of everyone in the courtroom. Not an easy situation in which to go about hiding anything, really. There's honestly only one place he could possibly have hidden it then. What? Perhaps in another person's pocket. Someone with him, understand?
Well, counsel. Whom do you request this search now?
Okay, Nash, Skulkin. It's only him left.
Take that!
Oh, the music stopped. Oh my god. Of my lord, Mr. Nash Skulkin.
Well, I never.
Eh? Me? Him?
Very well then, bailiff. Restrain the witness and conduct thorough search of his personal effects.
Hold it!
Please, my lord. Inspector? Scotland Yard has to object to this search.
Objection!
Unfortunately for you, Inspector, your objections carry no weight here. In this courtroom, only the prosecution and the defense have the authority to object.
But Lord Van Zieks.
I have no idea what forces are in play that might influence your actions. But personally, I have no intention of obstructing the course of this trial.
Bailiff, carry out the search.
No. Hold on a minute. Nothing about no disc. Oh, cut it out. Ah.
Here, my lord. In the witness bucket. I found this. Oh, good lord, that's...
Another music box disc.
I don't know nothing about it. Nothing.
Oh, they're all speechless. That is the second music box disc, left behind by Magnus McGilded. Is it not, Inspector Gregson?
Order, order, Mr. Skulkin, what have you to say for yourself? Oh, Gordon Bennett, I mean, just Gordon Fleming Bennett. I swear, I didn't know nothing about that disc. Honest to God. Counsel, would you please explain what exactly is going on here? The alleged deal that was struck was between this witness and this detective, no?
Without question, my lord.
Then for pity's sake, why on earth was this man in possession of the disc that the inspector traded for information?
Inspector Gregson is a shrewd, calculating man who rarely loses his composure. But at one particular point in this trial, he exhibited some unusual behavior for a brief moment.
I don't recall. What unusual behavior? Oh?
It was... yes, during my cross-examination of Mr. Graydon. Tell me, Mr. Graydon, when you left the pawnbrokery that night, was it by any chance with the second disc in your jacket pocket? I admit to nothing of the sort. Oh, god damn it. When Mr. Graydon answered my questions, the inspector appeared to have grabbed Nash Culkin by his coat and was shaking him violently.
Oh yeah, he did and all. Though me noggin was gonna fall clean off, I did. Thought me noggin was gonna fall clean off, I did. Oh, I was wishing. I've been bored with me brother, I was.
And what exactly happened to make the detective attack you like that?
Oh, I ain't got a clue. It just suddenly turned and grabbed me whilst I was... whilst like that I started checking me.
Why the blazes did you mention the third gun when we got you down the station? That's what he said.
Oh, you lit right down my ear hole. He did. Me head's still throbbing now.
The way the detective behaved then was extremely out of the character. But looking back now, it must have been then that he did it. That was the opportunity Inspector Gregson created for himself in order to hide the disc.
Oh, well, bless my wig. It's a bit on the side though. He hid it. Hey, you! But I'm afraid I failed to comprehend the motive here. If the detective had acquired the disc he was after, why on earth would he then proceed to hide it in another man's pocket? This is a court of law. He could have submitted the item as evidence.
It would appear, my lord, that the inspector was not at liberty to do that.
Why ever not?
He's a bit slow, this judge, eh? As the man himself revealed earlier, his current assignment has some special conditions.
My orders were... recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry. And do it under Kitty, strictly hush-hush. Hush, hush. A top secret assignment, is it?
As far as we are aware, the information stolen comes from confidential government communications. It would seem that if that information were to be revealed in court as evidence, it would be problematic. Does that sum up the situation, Inspector?
I'm operating under direct orders from the Ministry. I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to answer that question.
So, realizing there was a chance that you may be searched here in court, you took steps to hide the disc you had acquired from the witness.
Oh, does this mean?
He only pretended to attack Mr. Skulkin in order to get close enough to him, to slip the second disc into his pocket.
Oh, so it was all a pretense. Oh, he's a very good actor. Well now, Inspector Gregson, and you, Mr. Creighton, are you prepared to admit to the accusation made against you of this alleged deal?
Admit to it. Yours truly, please. Mr. Creighton. Clearly, our recent visitor has an uncommonly active imagination. However, there's no proof that I passed that disc to the inspector.
Objection!
But then, how do you explain the reason why you knew about the people? I'm under no obligation to explain. What? Yes, I lied in my testimony. That I admit. So sentence me accordingly. But that is all I admit. Murder, leaking government secrets, striking a deal with a detective. And what else? Stealing Christmas? All of it is this young Eastern man's fancy. I have no idea what any of that is about. You... And what? Well, what about you then, Inspector Gregson? Do you admit to making a deal with Mr. Graydon in order to acquire the disc?
Ladies and gents of the jury, as a Scotland Yard inspector, I will declare this and nothing more. I am acting in the best interest of the country. Whatever I've done, it's been in the name of justice. So, as a member of the public of this fine country, I'd like to think that justice will be your guiding light when you're making your decisions. This is quite a quandary indeed. Rarely have I encountered such extraordinary tumultuousness in the conducting of a trial. Nevertheless, in the absence of any further evidence to be presented, I believe it is time that we put the matter to the jury of their final leanings. Well now, as a fellow servant of Green Country, I must say that I sympathize with the old inspector.
Oh yes, he's a dependable man, I'm quite sure. In service, one becomes a good judge of character. Oh, even crossing your eyes doesn't help when it comes to looking at this case. It's all blurred to me. Oh well, as a fellow professional, I'd like to put my faith in the detective, really. Oh, Creighton is highly skilled apparatus, stop. Currently in prisons of Idle, stop.
Detective has very much trust in eyes. More than this, I cannot say.
Oh, I don't believe it. These 6 jurors are... They're going to believe Rexon if they declare the decision now. Oh, is Ginny going to be found guilty? If I don't manage to produce some definitive evidence right now, then we're going to lose. Either some proof that Graydon killed Mr. Windybank or stole those government secrets, or some evidence to force Gregson into admitting that he struck a deal with the witness.
Well done, counsel. I think it's time I impose on the juror to declare their final decisions. No? That is, unless you have some compelling evidence you have thus far not presented to the court.
If I let the judge call on the juror to announce their leanings, Gina will be found guilty. Oh, so there's no choice then, Bruno. You have to throw some evidence at them. With great force. Oh, this is it now. It all comes down to this. It always, every time. It all comes down to this every time. Who do I present evidence against? Gregson or Graydon?
First, say first, and then we can, think about it.
What evidence do we have? We have to look at the evidence first. Pawnbroker's tickets for the box. Okay. A redemption ticket issued from the pawnbrokery owned by the victim, Mr. Windybank, in the form of some handwritten notes on the back of a photograph. Okay. Gina's representation papers. That's not a clue. That's not a evidence. Okay. Blood sample portfolio. Okay, they're not going to accept that anyway. Pawnbroker's tickets for the coat. A redemption ticket issued from the pawnbrokery owned by the victim, Mr. Windybank. The blood on it has been identified as Mr. Mason's. I don't think that's going to help. Iris' story manuscript. A long unpublished story that Mr. Sholmes deposited at the pawnbrokery of the victim, Mr. Windybank. It's entitled The Hound of the Baskervilles. And I thought this was going to be the story, but it's not at all. Okay. McGilded case notes. Notes collated by Mr. Seto about the McGilded case that we worked on 2 months ago. I don't know. What is there? What's in there? This. Okay. Case summary. Victim found deceased on the last scheduled omnibus of the last scheduled omnibus of the day after a stab wound to the abdomen. Details of victim: Mason Milverton, brickmaker, East End of London. Okay. Trial summary. Defendant Magnus McGilded. Prosecution attorney Lord Barak van Zeeks. Defense attorney Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Conviction was assured with 3 eyewitness testimonies. However, a surprise 4th witness's testimony resulted in acquittal due to insufficient evidence. That's not going to help. This morning's paper, which contains an article about government secrets being leaked of foreign agencies. Autopsy report. A report prepared by the Scotland Yard coroner that confirms instant death due to a single bullet wound from the throat from the back. There are no other signs of trauma. Okay. The picture of the victim. No. The crime scene floor plan. No, that's gonna help. Windybank's guns. No. Skeleton Brothers gun. No. The photograph of Gina. No. Post-shooting photograph. No. Stereoscope. A fold-up device at the... No, that's not going to help. The music box disc. Oh, shit. Sean's pouch. Okay, the pouch is here because at first we thought that Sholmes was shot. Well, he was shot, but we thought he had a bullet wound. But it turned out he didn't have a bullet wound because his pouch stopped the bullet. And so we found a 3rd bullet on the scene of the crime, which indicated that there were 3 guns and not only 2.
The third bullet. Okay. We discovered lodged in Mr. Sholm's pouch. That's not gonna help. The small music box. And the flapper mat. God damn it, I don't know. I don't know. Unless you have some compelling evidence you have thus far not presented to the court. Oh my god. I don't know. What evidence do we have? That's, wait. Either proof that Graydon killed Mr. Windybank, or stole government secrets, or some evidence to force Gregson into admitting that he struck a deal with the witness. I don't think we have anything that could go there. Is there one piece of evidence that you haven't presented yet? Oh. It's the manuscript. It's the manuscript. Because, okay, you have to get the story of the manuscript. So, Iris is writing stories about Sholmes, based on the writings of her father, Dr. Wilson, who was Sholmes' partner during his adventures. And one of them is The Hound of the Baskervilles. Except, this one hasn't been published yet. But Soto-san, she's a hardcore fan of Sholmes, and she knew the story, and we don't know why, and we don't know how. She never explained. But how do we link that to that guy? Can we make the link? I don't know. Man. But it's the only thing we have. There's nothing more. There's nothing to look at. Oh, let's see. Yes. The Hound of the Baskervilles. Oh, that's right. I used Daddy's note to write it. I think it's a great story. I don't know why Hurley's forbidden me to publish it. No, it's strange, isn't it? Perhaps it's a problem with the title. Perhaps Mr. Sholmes is a family friend. He's a family friend of someone who has that name or something. Well, it doesn't have quite the same ring to it, but I could change it to The Hound of the Naruhodos. Wait, what? I'm fairly sure that Mr. Sholmes is a friend of someone who has that name too. I mean, we have to try that. That's the only thing. We saved anyway, so I mean, yeah, let's go for it. Wait, I saved, right? Yes, I saved. Mr. Graydon, there is one final piece of evidence I would like you to see. You misguided fool. Whatever you intend to show me now, you'll be wasting your time. I have nothing left to lose. I assure you, I will admit to nothing.
this is my last chance. It looks like I'm going to have to force his hand here. Oh yeah, and it's going to take him by surprise because he might not know that the story is not supposed to be released. Oh, I don't know. Because it's not a secret. Ah. One final piece of evidence to get him to admit to the deal he clearly struck on the stand. Okay, let's do it.
Take that!
What on earth is this, Council?
Irrefutable proof, my lord, of the corrupt dealings that went on between these two men. Or perhaps irrefutable proof of the corrupt workings of my learned friend's mind. No.
Really, Council, at this stage in the proceedings, I would have expected a more considered argument. The defense will be duly penalized.
No. Well, they only struck that deal at the very last possible moment when they were in the stand. What's more, there's no love lost between them, clearly. It was strictly business. Now, if you think about it, murder and treason are both such serious crimes. Yes, punishable by death. So I don't think old Sulky is going to admit to either anytime soon, do you? No, but Gregson... we have to present... Wait, what? He's just refusing to admit to what happened because he's been sworn to secrecy, out of a sense of duty. I wonder if Grex's lips are sealed because he's determined to do his duty, then perhaps to pry them open. You're going to have to be determined enough to do your duty too, Bruno. Wait, what? Of course. He'd do anything to follow his orders, so...
The jury has indicated its readiness to declare its final findings. I urge you to consider this as your own final deed in this trial, Council.
This is my last chance. It looks like I'm going to have to force his hands here. One final piece of evidence to get him to admit to the deal he clearly struck on the stand. Ah, man. I don't know. We don't have the other disc. I'm pretty sure we have to use this. I want to try it. Okay, let's try it. I don't know what else, really.
Take that!
No, it's not that. Oh, it's not that. We have to load. Okay, we know it's for Inspector Gregson. Inspector Gregson. There is one final piece of evidence I would like you to see.
Eh? What's that then?
If you refuse to acknowledge that you did in fact strike a deal with the witness here today, then you leave us no choice but to examine this piece of evidence thoroughly. Oh, the music box.
Well, go on.
This is my last chance. Looks like I'm going to have to force his hand here. One final piece of evidence to get this detective to admit to the deal he clearly struck with Graydon. The music box.
Take that!
Music stopped.
Ooh. Is that Mr. McKinney's peculiar music box, Council?
Yes, with the disc already in place, ready to play. I think perhaps now would be a good time to listen to the sound produced by the music box again. Only this time with the second disc we've just discovered, set in place as well.
Oh, goodness. This council? This one?
Hold it!
No! Wait! I can't let you do that!
Why not?
Because, well... Because it's got nothing to do with this case, that's why.
Objection!
Not true, Inspector.
Eh?
The defense has already proposed that the sounds heard by the court earlier from this music box were part of a Morse code message. We know that Morse code comprises of 2 distinct tones. The defense believes that the second disc contains the second tone needed to complete the message. And now we have a chance to confirm that theory.
Oh, for crying out loud, Sunshine. We're talking about state secrets here. If you go letting the whole courtroom hear confidential information like that, it's treason.
Then do you admit the charge? That in order to protect those state secrets, you engage in unlawful dealings with the witness?
You're mad. If you let that secret information out into the public domain, you'll be making an enemy of the entire British government. You idiot!
Objection!
Let's not forget, Inspector, that you, the Scotland Yard officer, leaked confidential case details to witness. That you continue to lie to the court, and all because, by fair means or foul, you're determined to do your duty. Well, by fair means or foul, I'm prepared to do mine.
Don't you dare!
I will stop at nothing to protect my client. I don't care who I make an enemy of. Really? Interesting. My lord, if you please. The court must hear the sound made by that music box.
Come on, Vazis! For Pete's sake! Stop him!
Objection!
Inspector, you should know my methods by now. I'm a prosecutor. I'm no Scotland Yard puppet. In this courtroom, my duty is to the law, so let me propose a toast to uncovering the truth. By fair means or foul.
No! Very well. The defense stands here. And that of the prosecution has been made very clear, I feel. Therefore, in accordance with the defense's request, the court will now listen at this music box as this music box is set in operation once more. This time, with the second disc in place, and both discs playing simultaneously.
How do we know how to place them so they're aligned? I wonder. Listen to that. It's unmistakable now. It's Morse code.
All right. Admit it, whatever you want. But for the love of God, shut that blooming box.
Wow. Luckily, we have a communication expert in the jury. Yeah. Oh. Also, a Russian revolutionary. It's kind of weird. Let me ask you again then, Inspector Gregson. Did you, or did you not, strike a deal with the witness next to you in the stand, Mr. Ashley Graydon?
Specifically, did you furnish the witness with confidential case details in exchange for this music box disc? Did you reveal the existence of the peephole in the pawnbroker's storeroom door, Inspector? I did. Stop! What are you doing, man? My duty, sir. It's all exactly like the young Eastern lawyer said. When the trial resumed after recess, and we were stood here in the stand together, that's when he approached me with the deal. Shut up, you imbecile! Shut up! You there. You're the detective who turned up at the pawnbroker the other day, aren't you? I may have something you're looking for, Inspector, with me at this very moment. So how about a trade? I suggest you accept. Or information that may make certain individuals uncomfortable will soon become very public indeed. I couldn't let that information become public knowledge, not under any circumstances. So I accepted the man's proposal and told him details about the case that should have put him in the clear. The peephole in the storeroom door and the bloodstain on the overcoat. By giving false testimony, this witness intended to have the defendant wrongly accused of murder. Inspector, you knew that? Yet you still revealed those details to facilitate the witness's perjury. I did, for Queen and Country. But then it turned out the peephole had only been made that night, after the incident took place. How should I know that? Who could have known? Scotland Yard wasn't aware of that, if I'm perfectly honest. Well, Mr. Graydon, what do you have to say for yourself now? There's nothing and no one left for you to hide behind. You struck a deal with the inspector in order to escape conviction of a very serious crime. Namely, this... You are the third intruder who broke into the pawnbroker on the night in question. And you perpetrated the murder of the proprietor, Mr. Bob Windybank. You! Oh, wait, what? No! Bailiff, restrain that man. At once. That's it then. Whoa. It's all over. Wow, that wasn't easy. That's not easy though. Wait, what? I despised my life. Oh, I despised my life growing up. The slums are vile places. I was cursed from birth, born into poverty, the son of a penniless artisan. My parents did nothing but quarrel all day long. What little money they had was never spent on me. So I set about studying to better myself, to win escape from that hellhole. And you eventually became a communications officer. I admire your determination. But then, you decided to try to sell government secrets. Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I wanted money. Even now, years later,
The nightmare of my life in the slums wake me in the small hours. I wanted to drown them out with more money than anyone who lived in that squalor could ever imagine. Could ever imagine. Then one day, I met him. Mr. Magnus McGilded. Oh, you're a fiend with a square talent. So you are. Have money, throw you away if you're interested. All you need to do is go along with my little plan now. I was to steal the ministry's telegraphic message logs, and McGilded would buy them for a handsome sum. As I was responsible for inspections of the ministry's communications office, it was a simple enough task. The lure of the devil's offerings. How easy it is to succumb.
But you must certainly have realized the seriousness of the crime you were committing.
And for that reason, I took great lengths to ensure that my actions were untraceable. By using the music box. My father was a brickmaker, though my mother divorced him when I was still a child.
Yes, Mr. Mason Milverton.
That's right. He was very skilled with his hands. He'd once been a music box maker's apprentice. I imagined his skills would be sufficient to create a machine that could generate Morse code. So I sought out my father again to employ his services. It was the first time I'd seen him since I left the slums 10 years earlier. Look at you, Ashley. What a fine jet you've become, eh? He was a different man to the one in my memory, a thin, frail old man. But poverty had never broken him, never corrupted him like it had me. I was sure that he wouldn't help me if I told him the real reason. So I made up a story. I've got some work for you, father. I need some music box discs made.
Oh, music box discs, eh? A musician friend of mine.
Oh, a musician friend of mine has written some music he wants to sell to the public. I've brought the score with me. There are two, actually. I'd be delighted.
Oh, I'd be delighted, Sword. It's been 20 years since I did any work like this, though. Fetch my tools, would you? They're in the loft.
Oh, that's how I had him make the two discs. Thereby splitting the information in two. You are taking considerable precautions indeed. It was to protect myself as much as anything. It meant that I could deal with McGilded in two separate transactions. The first involved the first of the two discs and the music box for playing them. I exchanged them with McGilded for 10 guineas. Then, on receipt of the second disc, he would pay 1,000 guineas.
Oh, so what happened in the omnibus 2 months ago? Was the second part of a deal, the exchange of the second disc?
Yes. I'd sold the man information that way a number of times already. But it seems he became reluctant to part with his money.
1,000 guineas. It sounds like a lot.
But that doesn't quite make sense, Mr. Creighton. For why was it that on the omnibus 2 months ago, your father, Mr. Milverton, was the one dealing with Mr. McGilded and not yourself?
When I received 1,000 guineas after my first completed dealings with McGilded, I decided to give 200 to my father for his troubles.
But my father realized something was amiss. In time, he worked out that I must be involved in something dubious. And when he did, he said to me,
Oh, next time there's an exchange, you'll let your old man do it, understand? Otherwise, I won't take your money anymore.
that was my father's way of dealing with it, I suppose. Climb into the omnibus, hand over the second disc, and take the money from McGilded. That's it. He had no idea what was actually on the disc I had asked him to make. He never knew. Just like I'll never know why everything went so horribly wrong that night. All I know is that the disc was taken from him, and he never returned home. Oh, poor dude. It was only then that I found out what sort of a monster McGilded really was. So after 10 years of not once uttering it, I swore my father's name.
Oh, he's the one who killed McGilded.
To exact revenge.
Revenge?
As anyone with even the remotest knowledge of the man will no doubt be able to imagine. McGilded brought all his wealth and influence to bear in the most despicable of ways. To crush any semblance of justice in his trial. The crime scene was tampered with, evidence was fixed, and witnesses were bribed. That trial 2 months ago was a farce from start to finish.
Oh, my feet had barely touched British soil back then. And I walked into that hornet's nest, completely unaware of the sinister background to it all.
I made plenty of money out of my dealings with McGilded by then. So I spared nothing in my arrangement 2 months ago. I knew exactly who to hire. If you're willing to pay the price, there are people in this city willing to do anything you ask.
Oh, it wasn't the Skulking Brothers, that's for sure.
McGilded himself had shown me that.
Are you saying that?
I think you have the picture now. After he twisted everything to his favor in his courtroom to ensure that he walked free, I took matters into my own hands and delivered the justice that monster deserved. That tragic accident following the trial here 2 months ago was planned and executed by yours truly.
Oh, McGilded's death that day was caused by this man?
Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom.
No, that's not him, but alright.
Oh, what's this, officer? This sooner than I was led to believe.
I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule.
Oh, well, I must be making tracks now. This time for the inspection. Oh, they're going to examine the omnibus again. So I'm told. I asked if I could be present for myself. For it myself.
So that policeman who came to tell Mr. McGilded he could examine the omnibus again.
That's right, an imposter hired by me. McGilded used his wealth to manipulate the trial. He paid people to adulterate the omnibus with all manner of false evidence. He threatened witnesses to lie in their testimony. So I gave the man a taste of his own medicine. Once the omnibus was doused in paraffin, one of my sham policemen ushered my guilty inside and sent him on a one-way journey to hell. An eye for an eye. That's how I avenged my father's death.
Spine-chilling count indeed.
But that wasn't the end of it for me. There was a loose end, you see. A loose end? Yes, I should think it's obvious. The second disc, which my father had taken to exchange with MacGilded.
Oh, yes. There was indeed no mention of it in the man's trial 2 months ago. Clearly because it had been removed from the scene of the crime.
Or when I realized it was missing, I remember something. Something from the first time I dealt with MacGilded. Oh, this is the first of the 2 discs, and the music box you need to play them. Oh, well, look at that now. What an ingenious little invention. So then, as promised, 10 guineas for you, young man. What's this? Windybank's pawnbrokery? Aye, it is a pawnbroker's ticket, so it is. You can use it to redeem an article if I deposit it there for you. There's no need to give a name, just hand over the ticket and tell the fiend the what's worth. I've put a jewel in pawn for you. It'll fetch a good 10 guineas if you sell it, so it will. I've never heard of a pawnbrokery being used in quite that way before. Have you not, Mr. Graydon? London's pawnbrokeries are very useful places, you know. Each one is like an extremely secure vault. So I knew that if he'd taken steps to hide the disc, it would be in that pawnbrokery somewhere. And that on the night he killed my father, he must have entrusted the ticket to someone. Oh yes, to Gina. I remember now that when we first met you at Windybanks that afternoon 2 days ago, you had a description of Mr. Strahd written down. How did you know who you were looking for? From the trial, that pickpocket's testimony was clearly peculiar. Anyone could see that. I realized immediately that she was another of MacGildy's pawns, that he must have threatened her somehow. I was fairly convinced it would be her who had the ticket. So I started to make some inquiries. I had a strong suspicion the girl would come out of the woodwork on the redemption deadline. And he was absolutely right. And yes, sure enough she did. All I needed to do was to wait until the girl went to Windybanks to redeem the articles. But unfortunately, she redeemed only MacGildy's overcoat and the one disc that was in its pocket. The all-important music box with the second disc inside was missing. Because it had already been forfeited 2 days earlier. But I was unaware of that fact. Had I not been, I could have avoided my nighttime excursion.
Meanwhile, as our investigation into stolen government secrets was progressing, we picked up on the fact that MacGildy was involved. Inspector, oh, you've recovered fast. My orders were to recover stolen information as quickly as possible. So we started gathering the fellows' possessions and examining whatever we could lay our hands on. We had a full-scale investigation going at the yard, but we had to keep it as quiet as we could.
Then, when the inspector here took the disc from me in the pawnbrokery that day, I became nervous. I was sure the music box on the second disc was still there in the shop somewhere. So I knew that it was a race against time. I had to find those articles before the police did.
Oh, so that's what prompted you to break into the place that same night.
With the help of your old friends, the Skulkin brothers. What happened that night in the pawnbrokery I can only describe as a nightmare. While Nash and Ringo were searching the counter, I'd located the music box I'd sold to McGilded on the shelves of forfeited articles. And the second disc was inside. Yes, I slipped it into my pocket with a very deep sigh of relief. But then, something entirely unexpected happened.
What are you doing in my shop?
A gunshot rang out in the shop, and I felt a sharp pain in my left arm. The broker fired his gun, and the bullet pierced your limb. Yes, exactly. But unfortunately, I decided to bring my own gun with me that night, just in case. Before I knew what was happening, I'd fired back. The man had already turned to flee. I hadn't intended to fire in his direction, much less kill him. But unfortunately for both of us, the bullet hit home. It struck him in the middle of his back as he fled through the storeroom door for refuge.
Oh, sorry tale.
It all took place in the blink of an eye. I don't imagine Nash and Ringo even realized what had happened at first. I was terrified, so I fled. And that's the whole story. That's everything that happened at Windybanks on that wretched night. Earlier, you called McGilded a monster. A man who used his wealth and influence to distort the facts and escape justice for the crime of murder. What tragic irony. For what you have done is exactly the same. You've become the very monster you saw and despised so deeply in McGilded. Yes, I think I have.
Oh, well, it's been a long and exhausting trial. However, it would seem that at last we have arrived at the truth. Inspector Gregson, what if Mr. Ashley Graydon? He's been restrained, my lord, and is being escorted to the yard. He'll be charged with the murder of Mr. Windybank. and the stealing of government secrets. Very good. And you, Inspector. Regrettably, you will have to face charges yourself. Yes, my lord, of course.
It transpires that you were complicit in helping a criminal escape justice. That fact remains whether or not you were doing so in the line of duty. The crime is a serious one, Inspector. And inexcusable.
Now to the defendant, Miss Janelle Lestrade.
Oh? Yeah?
It's time for the final adjudication. Is the jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Oh, yes, sir.
Get Scott and standing by, sir. This is really it now. The last push, the final call, the finishing whistle. My men are ready to deliver the verdicts. Thank you, Mr. Foreman. Very well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You will now declare your final decisions to the court.
Not guilty.
Ah,
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Wow. Pyrotechnics. That's the stuff. I'm off the hook. Oh, finally, you finally managed to do it. Finally is the word. I really wasn't sure if we'd come out on top for a while there. Susie was right. You're the best lawyer in the world.
Mrs. Strad, I'm not finished with you yet.
Hey, what are you looking at me like that for?
Before you start enjoying your freedom, there are certain other crimes to consider.
Hey?
2 months ago, in my courtroom, no less, you gave false testimony, did you not? And in relation to the trial today, not only did you unlawfully enter Windybank's bakery, you also attempted to abscond with Mr. McGildy's property, it seems.
Hey? Oh, I never done nothing of the sort.
Of course not. It's not like you were gleefully wearing McGildy's coat in your cell yesterday or anything.
Oh, and just when I was getting excited about throwing a party for Jimmy this evening.
And turning our attention to the defense. Determining that, when played together, the music box disc contained a message in Morse code was... well, it was certainly a most unexpected revelation, Counsel.
Quite so, my lord. The prosecution was caught entirely off guard. In fact, I think we should applaud my learned friend's courage here today. I propose a toast to demanding that government secrets be disseminated before the entire courtroom. Wait, is he mocking us? I'm not sure. He's the only one with a drink. Yeah, well, you know, I don't think he really minds. Very sorry about that. It was the only way I could get Inspector Gregson to admit what he'd done, so...
If I may say something on that point...
Isn't that? Oh. Oh, it's, the sounds produced by the music box before. I do wonder if that was really Morse code at all. Wait, what? What? What are you saying, madam? Oh, well, it's just that I'm really rather fanatical when it comes to Morse code, you see. Well, it's kind of a job. So much that the whole world seems to be covered in dots and dashes to me, in fact.
Oh, goodness, madam. An unhealthy level of obsession, one feels.
But I must say that, in my opinion, the sounds produced by those two discs were nothing more than that. A meaningless series of two different tones. Wait, what? What? Can that really be? It wasn't Moscow after all? Oh. Oh, we lost, oh, yeah, I don't know. My lord, the defense would like to listen to the music box again.
Are you wolf? Are you off your nuts? How many times do I have to tell you? Does this contain minister's secrets, sunshine?
This courtroom is not an appropriate forum to discuss the nature of the government communications. We know McGildet conspired to trade national secrets with our enemies, secrets acquired from Mr. Graydon. Now that the man has admitted to his crimes, we have no need to pursue the matter further. But it's really going to bother me.
Mr. Strad.
Yeah, my lord?
That which you have seen today in this courtroom has been extremely disturbing.
Falsifies evidence, intimidation, perjury, a grim catalogue of depravity.
An appalling experience to befall any child.
Come on, you did nothing that didn't see most days in the back slums.
I beg your pardon.
If you're weak, you pay for it. That's just how life goes. Gina. But look, I reckon I've worked something out today. The world isn't fair, but if you want it to change, you've got to start at home. You've got to change how you are yourself.
Well, that's a very laudable lesson, I would say. I eagerly look forward to the born again Mr. Strad, never gracing my courtroom with their presence again. Now, with regard to the murder of Mr. Pop Windybank, proprietor of a pawnbrokery business on Baker Street, I hereby declare the defendant, Mr. Gina Lestrade, not guilty.
Ooh, wow. We had to work for this one. Quite a lot. Fireworks inside. Very safe.
That's all. That is all. Court is adjourned.
Confetti. So much confetti. I just realized confetti? Is this an Italian word? Confetti. On a personal note, I must say you've surprised me, my Far Eastern friend. Oh. Despite being a Nipponese, you saw through the pretense to the malice that festered within that Englishman. And at the same time, saw through the grime to the surprising heart of your English client. You have a curious talent for judging character, especially considering our very different cultures. I don't think there's anything curious about it. Whether we're from the Empire of Great Britain or the Empire of Japan, we're all human beings
We're not so very different on the inside. You know, I took this case for one very simple reason. To lock swords with you once again, here in the courtroom. Oh, you did? Oh, just our luck. When I encountered you for the first time 2 months ago, it reminded me of toasting friendships. Of toasting friendship and trust with another Nipponese, only to find my trust betrayed. How flattering. I don't know. Not sure. Through you, I hope to look into the eyes of the man I once knew and try to understand. Before that, it seems. Wait, what? What? You mentioned something similar earlier today about total betrayal at the hands of the Japanese. What happened exactly? Well, you may ask. And one day, when the time comes, you will learn the answer, whether you like it or not. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, alright then. I'll wait for that day. If I must. How threatening. Yeah, well, you know. That's what he does. Coming to be known as the Ripper of the Bailey in my retirement from service 5 years ago. It gives me cause to wonder if our meeting has some deeper purpose. So, farewell, my learned Nipponese fellow, until we meet again. That's a threat. "17th of April, 5:24 p.m. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber." It's done. It's over at last. But where's Iris disappeared to? Oh. Ah. Congratulations, Gina. I knew it all along. I knew that you were innocent. Wait, what? Why did she give me the cold shoulder again? Well, look what you said, Mr. Naruto. You believed in me, right up to the end. You're as old as your name. Wait, what? As old. You're as old as your name. What's so about it? I told you I had faith in you, didn't I? No one's ever asked before, see? Kept the promise, I mean, properly. Oh, that's awful. I figured something out today. All my life, growing up in the slums, I've never trusted no one. But that's just cause I've been scared of being stabbed in the back. I mean, the more you trust someone, the more it hurts when they let you down. Yes? I think I can understand that. After all, I had a taste of it in the trial 2 months ago. I chose to trust someone, and paid for it. That betrayal left a big scar. Well, not sure I could... Well, you know... Don't think that's much of the same, but... You know though, Gina, I worked something out quite recently too. Trusting someone else is really an exercise in learning to trust yourself. And when your gut tells you it's the right thing to do, and you trust your trust is rewarded, there's no better feeling in the world. Oh, I think I have you to thank for reminding me of that valuable lesson. Oh, well, if you say so. Don't make a fat lot of sense to me, though. I'm trying to say that putting my faith in you, Gina, has been a real pleasure. Oh, for crying out loud! Pack it in! What? But I suppose I sort of feel the same way. I mean, sometimes trusting someone else is, you know, alright. Oh, thanks. This is the way I see it, Rinsuke. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his clients. Wait, is the ghost voice doesn't have a sound? A tick sound? And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. Ah, interesting. Memories don't have ticking sounds. Good to know. After this experience, I'm starting to feel like I understand what you mean. Kazuma, am I living up to your expectations? Am I turning out to be the lawyer you believed I could be? Pardon the interruption. Who's that? But what the deuce does a man have to do to be noticed around here, my dear fellow? Oh, that voice! It's too late for that voice now, Mr. Naruhodo. I've been sitting here patiently in the corner of the room for an eternity. Oh, he's disguised again. Ha ha ha! Yes, it was me all along. I would have said that when finally you noticed me. But you people, with your incessant babbling. Ah, Mr. Sholmes. Ha ha ha! Yes, it was me all along. You see? I'd assumed you'd be taken back to the hospital, to be honest. Oh, indeed I was! But I managed to escape again! Oh, I happen to be aware of one or two foibles of the doctor who was tending to me. Foibles? Really? Is that a word? I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he happily issued me with a leave of absence. Oh, how very above board. But enough of my adventures. That was a very fine victory, Mr. Naruhodo. I've never seen that word before. Me neither. Your tireless efforts justly rewarded, I feel. Congratulations are in order. And as a close friend, I tip my hat at you. Oh, thank you. Huh. Some great detective you are. Great at being cold at ice, maybe? Have I irked you in some way, Mr. Strahd? While you've been having a snooze in your nice soft bed, some of us have been fighting for our lives. Foible. A minor weakness or failing of character. The weaker section of a sword blade. From the middle to the tip? Oh. The weaker section? Wait, which one is the weaker section? I don't know. A minor weakness. Minor weakness. Okay. Yeah, I guess they're using a lot of, you know, older words.
Ah, well, that bullet did cause me to lose a substantial amount of blood, it's true. So I have indeed been feeling somewhat cold. Not perhaps as cold as ice, but, well, I have a feel.
I guess it comes from an old version of the French faible. Faible. Oh yeah, maybe. Could you take your hands off my neck, please, Mr. Sholmes?
And, in some way I suppose, congratulations are in order for you too, Mrs. Strahd. Oh, what's that supposed to mean? Why so half-hearted? Well, naturally, it isn't my intention to alarm you, but an acquittal in a trial with a particular prosecutor is perhaps a little precarious.
Well done, Mr. Sholmes. Not alarming the slightest.
Oh, the Reaper, you mean? Because anyone who's found guilty in the trial he was working on winds up dead anyway. Is that it? Oh, the very point I was trying to make. As exemplified by the fate of Mr. McGilded, in fact. But of course, I pay no attention to such irrational drivel myself. Drivel? Drivel? Drivel, I think. Yeah, well, it don't bother me. Oh, really? Of course not. The way I see it, the Reaper is a bit like I'm upstairs. I'm upstairs. What?
Him upstairs?
You mean like God? Yeah, him upstairs, you know, knows what's what, right? He knows what people are like on the inside. He won't have got the wrong end of the stick. He won't have got the wrong end of the stick, okay? There are some coves like that bog-throater what are rotten to the core. At the end of the day, I'm upstairs to make sure they get what they deserved. They deserve. I suppose that's one way of looking at it. Except McGilded was killed by the other guy, but, you know.
Divine justice is one thing, though. The Reaper taking matters into his own hands and claiming lives is another.
Well, I ain't like the McGilded of this world, so I ain't scared. I got principles, see? A trait in which you... in you, which... a trait in you? A trait in you which is to be admired, Mrs. Strahd. Oi! Just give it the rest, alright? As I was saying, congratulations are in order. The news of your acquittal was very welcome news to me indeed. Let me express my heartfelt congratulations, Gina. Well, oh, there you are, Hurley. How long have you been here? Honestly, I went to the main entrance especially to meet you there. Ah, Iris, my dear, I do apologize. But wait until I tell you what happened. Despair made utter fools of themselves. What happened? As you know, I have a penchant for disguise. I was hiding in this room, dressed as a bailiff. But these dolls didn't notice my presence at all. They had no idea. Can you imagine, Iris? Would you credit
would you credit it? I don't know if you've seen the second movie, the second Sherlock Holmes movie with Robert Downey Jr., but the ending is incredible. I'm just gonna say that. Well, the very end of the movie. Is this a post-credit scene? Kinda something like that. The epilogue. I'm not sure, really. Oh, I beg your pardon? Oh, I'm sorry, Hurley, but you just don't have the weighty presence you seem to think you have. In fact, you really ought to be careful about that. It's just going to land you in trouble one day. Oh, you look so sad. Oh, I'll be careful then. You haven't seen it. Oh well. I like those movies. They're not very. It's not very. It's a mix of a more traditional Holmes with some very actions things. So I'm not sure how much it is faithful to the original Holmes, but it's quite enjoyable. Ouch. Anyway, it's such a shame. I was so hoping to throw a party for Ginny tonight. But you won't be able to come, will you? Oh, don't look like I'm gonna be going nowhere for a while. You had to just batter. I got stuff to make amends for, apparently. All them offenses. What was it again? Breaking and entering? Taking the bug trotter stuff? What was in luck? Blah blah blah. Oh yes, I think you'll find that basically being a pickpocket is the main offense. But diving ain't an offense. It's a job in it. Oh, I don't think so. Oh, still. It's got me thinking all this. Maybe I should start looking for another line of work. I mean, you didn't start off as a lawyer, did you, Odo? Well, no, but I was never a pickpocket. Well, anyway, Arigone could make a change. I'm gonna do something for all them lot like me from the slums. Something that makes a difference for them. Oh, that's a wonderful idea, Ginny. And I'm sure you can do it. Hey. Oh, what is it? Nothing. Miss Generosad. The prison carriage has arrived, ma'am. Come with me to the rear gate at once. Oh dear. Right, well, looks like I'm off then. Oh yes. Goodbye, Gina. And good luck. Wait, we're gonna defend her? Odo? Yes? Oh, no, what? She's gonna shoot at us? Really? Ah! What was that for? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say, so... Ah, indeed. Perhaps the situation calls for a phrase. It is so missing from your vocabulary, Mr. Strahd. Vocabulary, Mr. Strahd? Eh? On occasions such as this, I would recommend a simple thank you. Oh. Oh yes, it's good advice, Genie. Right, I see. Well... Oh, it's very hard to say. The thanks, thanks, Udo. Thank you for everything you what you've done, for believing in me. Oh, not at all. In fact, that should be my line. Thank you, Gina. Well, there she goes. I wonder if I'll ever see her again. Well, I hope we do. Oh, well, well, quite the indomitable big purse. Oh, I nearly forgot. I brought a paper outside. It's a special edition, and this trial is all over the front page. Pickpocket's innocence proven. Isn't it wonderful? Oh, you should have shown it to Gina Harris. She would have been thrilled. Oh no, how silly of me. Ah, but anyway, would you like the good news or the bad news? Wait, what? That's bad news? Not again. Well, what do you say, Bruno? Hurley? As usual, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Absolutely not. I have no intention of listening to anything but good news. There you have it. How people answer that question says a lot about them, doesn't it? Oh, let's not go there. Alright then, maybe let's start with the good news this time. The rain has finally stopped. It was a record level of rainfall, apparently. Well, that is good news indeed. We can journey back in greater comfort. Alright then, what's the bad news? Oh, the huge storm has left the sea very choppy. The channel in particular is awful, so sailing out of Dover has been delayed by a day or more. Is that bad news? I'm pretty sure it's good news. We can see Sato-san. Wait, Dover? That's right. If we head to the station immediately, we may still make it in time to wave Susie off. Well, that's not bad news. But there won't be a train, surely. We couldn't be that lucky. Who do you think I am, Mr. Naruhodo? Mr. Sholmes? Aren't you? I rushed to Victoria Station earlier and made arrangement for a special express. If we hurry now, we shall be there in time for dinner. And I know of a fine restaurant that serves the most delicious baked sole. Just like that, yes. Wow, in time for dinner? And English dinner is very early. I don't... The great detective does it again. Oh, indeed he does. I happen to be aware of a number of the rail transport director's foibles. Oh wow, he's got, you know, files on everyone. The dossier. What? I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he happily laid down the locomotive. Elementary. Is Shoals blackmailing everybody? Just an idea, but might be wise to stop manipulating people that way. Just saying. Oh, what are we waiting for then? To London, Victoria. Are we gonna see Sato-san then? '18th of April, 5:32 a.m. Port of Dover. Quayside? Quay? That seems somewhat longer than I had anticipated.
Yeah, dinner is... it's past now.
Oh, Susie's boat must be about to leave now.
Oh, Sato-san, where are you?
What? Over there, look!
It looks like she's reading something.
Hold it!
Sato-san, wait! What are you doing? The Hound of the Baskervilles, probably.
Naruto-san, what are you doing here? We came as soon as we could after the trial. I mean, we heard that sailings were being delayed due to the bad weather, you see. Oh, I see. Then tell me, how did China's trial go? It went well. She was acquitted. Oh, that's wonderful. Really wonderful news.
The book you were about to throw into the sea. It was your encyclopedia of British law, wasn't it?
Oh dear, I was hoping you hadn't seen that. I'm not worthy of practicing law in any way now. So, I was saying my final farewell.
You were saying goodbye to law? You? Sato-san? Would I be correct in assuming it's because of the peephole, Mr. Sato?
Oh. I deliberately altered the scene of a crime, and then I tried to hide the fact. What I did is utterly unforgivable. Oh, that reminds me. How did you even come to have this, Susie? Oh, on the evening of the incident. Mr. Sholmes had invited Gina to dinner, if you remember. Oh yes, we had a wonderful time. Well, Gina gave us a little introductory lesson, didn't she? To the art of pickpocketing, I mean.
Wait, what? She pickpocketed the thing? She picked the thing out of buckets? She's very good at doing that, apparently.
Oh, that was so much fun. I stole Runo's armband.
Oh yes.
Please don't do that again, Arise. That band's very important to me. Oh, well, if it's so important, you should pay more attention to it. You didn't know think that is for ages. Oh, Anawin, I thought it would be fun to see if I could take the cat flapperman. So I put it up my sleeve.
Wait, what? Oh, she's got very large sleeves.
Oh, really? Oh, and then I rather forgot about it. Until I found myself in Mr. Winterberg's shop with it later that night.
Wait, what? How big are those sleeves? What? She does have very large sleeves. Yeah, and she forgot it inside. So how many other things does she have in there? Does she have a horse in there? I see. They're kimono sleeves. Yeah, but still. But I do know that, yeah, people used to put things in their sleeves. I know. That's a real thing.
Oh, and then... Ah! Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes!
Oh, leave me, Mr. Naruto.
Right. The Skulking Brothers. Oh, after Mr. Naruhodo has left the shop, after Naruhodo-san had left the shop, I started to think that doors started to play on my mind.
Oh, the storeroom door, you mean?
I made a yukata
I never used those sleeves. They're very handy. I bet they are. Oh yes, if Gina was anywhere in the shop, I realized it could only be behind that door. And at that moment, the little device that I had up my sleeve sprang to mind. I was so worried about Gina. I simply had to know. So, you used the glass flapper mat to make the peephole in the door. Oh, as captured in a photographic print of the shop. By one of Hurley's red-handed recorders.
Oh, indeed. It was one of the first importance. That point? Precisely when the peephole was made, that information would prove to be Mr. Naruhodo's greatest weapon. Though naturally, without proof, it would have amounted to nothing.
Oh, but when I looked through the hole in the door, the sight that met my eyes made my blood run cold. The thoughts started to run through my mind. I remembered that trial 2 months earlier. The trial of Magnus McGilded. Oh, the trial of Magnus McGilded. I thought about how he had manipulated the evidence and arranged false testimony to secure his freedom. It made the British justice system feel very dark and sinister to me. And then a terrible thought occurred to me. What if some wicked criminal was planning to do the same thing now? Because from the appearance of the crime scene, it looked exactly as though Gina had shot Mr. Winterbank. Even though I was sure she would never have done such a thing. We've never known how it came to being like that, by the way. Oh, did she? Wait, did she? Oh, I don't remember. You were worried that the true culprit would try to frame her for the crime. Oh, that's right. But then I realized it would be very difficult for anyone to give a false testimony in this case. What do you mean? Well, the crime appeared to have happened behind the door of a locked room. For someone to claim falsely to have witnessed it, there would have to be a way to see beyond the door.
Ah! For which a peephole would be the very thing.
Only the peephole I had made wasn't actually there until after the crime had been committed, of course. And the criminal would know that, so it wouldn't make any difference.
But the possibility of a rather ingenious trap was there, was it not?
A trap? Is that why she did it? So, is that why you kept it a secret, Susie? You never mentioned that you made the peephole to anyone, not even to the police. I know, and I knew at the time what I was doing was wrong. A criminal offense, even. That's why I decided to confide in Mr. Sholmes. If Naruhodo-san was completely backed into a corner, with no other possible means of escape, the truth about the people could save him. That was my plan. Oh, she really does think of everything. But then, why didn't you just tell me everything before the trial began?
Oh, my dear fellow, you're not thinking straight. If she had done that, it would have rendered you complicit in the whole escapade.
Ah.
You could have been disbarred if you had been seen to have knowingly tampered with a crime scene. So, Mr. Sato decided to shoulder the burden of responsibility alone. For your sake, and Mr. Stroud's.
Oh, Sato-san. Oh, the truth is, when it happened, I did it because I'd lost a little of my faith in the law.
Oh.
I was worried that the right person would be convicted of the crime. But the moment I allowed myself to think that, is the moment I lost my right to call myself a judicial assistant.
What you did isn't comparable to what he did. Graydon is the one who lied in the witness stand, using that peephole as a way to implicate Gina. And besides, if the peephole inconsistency hadn't existed, I'm not at all sure that she would have been acquitted in the end. Sato-san, what you did saved Gina's life.
Oh well, with your kind words, Naruto-san, you saved me too, from my regrets.
Well, we must all be thankful that Mrs. Stroud's freedom has been assured. Oh yes, exactly. Although some of the loose ends in that trial will continue to play on my mind, I'm sure.
But the revelation that the music box disc contained secret messages, Naruto-san, was a triumph to work that out. What a triumph to work that out. I'm full of admiration.
Well, actually, that argument wasn't quite as compelling as I thought it was.
Oh, it wasn't?
There was a communications officer among the jury members, you see, a telegraph operator. And she said that the majority of the sounds on the disc were just meaningless tones. As one would expect, after all, we are talking about secret government communications. No doubt they were written in cipher to avoid being readily understood should they have been intercepted. In cipher? Ah, I see. So then, we could never have hoped to understand the message anyway. Nonsense, my dear fellow. I'm quite a zero-pipe problemer. It's quite a zero-pipe problem, I assure you. What? Eh? Sogi? Asogi? Asogi? What? What?
Well, that can't be a real word, can it? How funny. Wait! Iris, what did you just say? Oh, I just said asogi. Does that word mean something to you?
Means something?
Asogi was the name of our best friend.
What?
Oh, but how? How do you know that name, Iris? I wrote down during the trial before, when the message was playing on the music box. I wrote it down.
She transcribed it on the fly? She really is a genius.
Oh, I thought the message probably wouldn't be written out in plain Morse code, so I tried various ways to interpret it. But whatever I tried, the words just didn't seem to make any sense. That is, in English at least.
Oh, wait. Oh yeah. Is that Morse code for Japanese? I don't know.
Oh, it suddenly occurred to me, you see? There's more than one Morse code, not just the English variety.
There are more codes. Wow, I never thought about that.
Various countries around the world have altered and added to Morse code to use in their own languages.
Oh, I don't believe it. Are you saying?
That's right. I've only actually seen a charged Japanese Morse code once before. But I think it's based on the Iroha pangram, isn't it? And you mean to say that in Japanese Morse code, the message says Asogi? Yes, I think so. Sorry, but I don't remember all of the Japanese Morse code. Iris, would you let me see that? Oh, Sato-san, do you know it? Do you know Japanese Morse code? Yes, I spent some time studying it. Oh, god damn it, I was pretty sure she would know it. And I was pretty sure that Iris would know it as well. Because I'm quite sure Morse code will become ever more important for international communications.
Oh, then might I recommend, my dear madam, that you focus your effort on the English version?
Be as that as it may. Iris, show me the message, please. Of course. Sato is the best judicial assistant in the world. She is!
It's incredible.
She should be the main character in this game. Why is she just an assistant? Oh, but what can this possibly mean? Whatever is in that long sequence of supposedly meaningless dots and dashes. It's made the color drain from Sato-san's face. I don't know, I didn't see it, but... Oh, there's no doubt that this message is written in Japanese Morse code. Oh, so the British Empire has been using Japanese for its secret communications? Oh, I don't understand the reason why, but... The message appears to be a list of 4 people's names. Wait, what? 4 names? The first is Ke Asogi. Kazuma Asogi. Kazuma Asogi. Why? Why was his name on that disc? The second is A Shin. Shin? I don't recognize that name. The third is T. Gregson. Gregson. Gregson? Gregson?
Ah, it would seem Tobias Gregson is the third man on the list.
And what's his name doing in secret government communication as well? What's going on? And the last name. Is it going to be my name? Our name? What's the matter? Sato-san. Oh, it's just so strange. So unexpected. Is it going to be her name? Oh, what is it, Susie? Don't keep us in suspense. The last name is J. Wilson. Oh, it's Iris's father. What? Wilson? John H. Wilson? You mean Daddy? Oh, it says only J. Wilson, so I'm afraid I can't be sure. Then, after the 4 names, it reads, if I translate from Japanese, that is all 4. And that's the end of the message. Or rather, the end of what you noted down, Iris. I just can't believe it. Who would ever have thought that those discs contain Japanese Morse code? Not to mention a strange list of some disturbingly familiar names.
It would appear that this particular message is a communication of some kind between Great Britain and the Empire of Japan.
So Daddy could be in Japan then.
where Susie and Runo come from? Oh no, we're gonna have to say to Iris that her dad is dead. Wait. Are these people supposed to be killed? What? It means 2 of them are dead already. We don't know. But Wilson, it was the first case where we were accused of murder, and the Dr. Wilson was killed by an English woman. Wow. What? Association Gregson Wilson. Yeah. So, but Asogi Kazuma was died because of an accident. So, but Wilson was murdered. Oh, oh man. We're gonna have to tell Iris that her father is dead. Oh, come on. Oh, well. Gregson is still alive. Yeah, but... no, it's not very likely, really, is it? I mean, there are thousands of people with the surname Wilson, and there must be lots of J's among them. Professor John H. Wilson, visiting professor of medicine at Imperial Yuma University. But we can't tell Iris about that now. We just can't. Oh, this is so strange. Somehow, in solving the case of Mr. Windybank's murder today, I feel like I've rolled back a boulder at the mouth of a very dark cave. Oh, I'd wonder if perhaps it's a dark cave that we shouldn't go wandering inside. Wow, I can't believe they're ending all that, the whole game, on such a cliffhanger. She's still reading our thoughts. Oh, well, you know, nothing surprises me about Sato-san anymore. Oh dear, the ship is going to set sail soon. Oh yes, it seems so. Oh, I'll sail on that same ship first to the port of Dunkirk in France. And then I'll change into a larger passenger vessel bound to Japan, for Japan. Oh, you're really going then, Susie? We wish you a safe passage, Mr. Sato. Dunkirk, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. I wish you all the very best. I wish all of you the very best. Oh, Sato-san. I had hoped to have you always at my side to guide me and support me. And... oh, Naruhodo-san. Please, come back soon. As far as I'm concerned, you really are the very best judicial assistant in the world. She is. Oh, I'm quite sure. I'll be back before you know it. Really, Susie? Oh, now don't forget, Iris. I made you a promise I've yet to fulfill. A promise? About your manuscript. Ah. Oh yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles. Well, I'll be waiting for you then, Susie. A promise is a promise. Oh, definitely, Iris. Naruhodo-san. Yes?
Do you remember the first time we met?
Oh yes, of course.
On the SS Buria, when I was dragged out from the wardrobe, still half asleep. If I remember rightly, you threw me halfway across the cabin with a Susato takedown. Oh, you know very well that I'm talking about after that. It's strange, but being thrown together as we were in that case, I somehow felt straight away that you were the perfect person to continue Kazuma-sama's great legacy. Oh, Susato-san. And my instincts were right. I really want to believe, no, I'm sure that I'll be back soon. Farewell until then.
Somehow we seem to have come to the end of the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Or the first volume, at least. Looking back now, it feels as though fate has led me on this journey. Fate led me to becoming a lawyer, to traveling halfway around the world, to meeting the great detective. I'm sure there'll be trials and tribulations ahead. Of course there will. But whatever happens, I know I'll be able to turn my fortunes around.
Wait,
After all,
where did he had his
I have the
violin?
greatest friends in the world on my side.
Wow, this boat is so fast. In his sleeve, most probably. Yeah, they're gonna be nice and say it's his sleeves. What? Ah, yes. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, Mr. Sholmes? I have some rather awkward news. Wait, what? The railway company has decided to sue over the special express train, apparently. What? Oh, it caused such a commotion on the line. All the other trains had to wait at stations. But really, we would never have made it to Dover in time otherwise. Anyway, I explained everything and how it was all your fault. What? I believe a formal complaint should be delivered to your office tomorrow. But not to worry, my dear fellow. According to Sato-san, to Mr. Sato. Oh, you love defending yourself in court. Oh, it's alright. I'm perfectly happy to testify. Oh, he really didn't look like the sort of man who'd do something so outrageous. See? Mr. Sholmes? Yes? A word, if you don't mind? Why, certainly. Any word you like. Below it out, my dear fellow. Oh, yes. I love Runo's words, and I know just the one he'll use here. Why are they doing the same thing with the tip of the hat? Oh, then I really must say...
Objection!
Wow. I gotta say, the writing in this game is so much better than the first one. In the following weeks, hundreds of music boxes. Used by Mr. Sholmes to solve an important case. And then the money I've earned consulting detective work pays a pittance by comparison. Yeah, because we did. Sholmes said that we couldn't know which music box the disc was supposed to go in, so he bought all the existing ones. And when I'm this busy, how do you usually cooks me breakfast? Well, cooks is an overstatement for some dry toast and insipid coffee. I do miss Susie and her lovely Japanese breakfasts. Oh, this. A witness? Your testimony? Is riddled with contradictions.
Oh, exactly. Really two rare commons. High coins hide under rare stacks themselves.
Oh, I'm not gonna do all that. Anyway, so the plan, because the game has two parts. We've played the first ones, which is Adventures, and the second one, I don't remember the name, but we're gonna play it, so don't worry. And that's why they ended with such a cliffhanger, because can you imagine if you end the game with something like that? It's incredible. It would be wild. This is a man we had to defend before. I don't remember if you saw this part.
Scientific investigation will be the gold standard for policing in the new age. I dream of a world governed by the tenets of order and discipline. Like a great clock, in fact, whose hundreds of parts match together in perfect unison. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have but 2 minutes and 37 seconds until my next appointment.
Oh, Lord Strongheart. I don't know if I like him, this guy.
Ah, Gregson. The latest Friends magazine's out, and I'm in it again. Whenever I say that one line she wrote down, I get a standing ovation. Wanna hear it? Not bad, I suppose, for an amateur. Oh, her ladyship puts me to shame.
You saw him in his cell? Oh yeah.
I'll be visiting the old girl on a daily basis, of course. Jody, my old jailbird. Must say, battling with those body stairs every day has done wonders for me. Managing rather well with the housework too. Got his maid business stepped out, I say. Hope the gossiping neighbours don't realize the man at the house is his own maid.
Why is he so fast? Oh well. Oh, I really like the stories. They were great. And the fact that the last case tied to the first one we saw in England was, wow, great. He's stirring tea with his pipe. Yeah, always doing that. It's a bit weird. And it was kind of weird because when we were talking to this guy before, his maid, who actually was his wife, constantly was pouring him tea, but the tea was overflowing and burned him every time. Are we gonna say the Skulking Brothers again? Oh, I would like to see those. Criminal investigation, what kind of is this thing when you get into them? So in the next game, we're gonna have to get Gina out of trouble. We're gonna have to investigate those names. Oh dear, this guy.
Oh God, please. Oh, give up, bruv. Not anything else we used to do. Oh, we got time in here to plan the Cormac and Milverton and Skulking Milk, and right? The three musk it. Milk in the neighborhood for all it fits.
Ah, I can't wait for the next part. It's Mario and Luigi. Oh yeah, it is. And the good news is, you want to go the good news? It's included in this version of the game. It's got the 2 parts in it, so we already have it. The end after the end of the trial was about an hour. Oh yeah, but you know, we played Death Stranding. There was about, I think, an hour and a half, or maybe 2 hours of video after the actual end of the game, the gameplay. It was crazy. And I gotta say, this didn't feel as long as the Death Stranding ending. Oh, this woman! She's the one who killed Wilson. Oh, this is Soto-san's father. I didn't expect to enjoy this game that much. I'm really surprised. Because, well, yeah, before that we were playing the oh, it's just that poor Russian girl who killed Kazuma by accident. It was such a sad story. Because before that I was playing the first game, and the case we were working on, the last case we were working on, it was dragging on. It was such a pain. Oh, that's strong heart. And the Bobbies. Is it gonna be Holmes? Sholmes? Oh, it would be funny if it was. Those are witnesses. Yes, on the left. Well, they didn't. Oh, they didn't do it. Some of the witnesses. And I gotta say, having the whole thing 3D with all the characters, it adds a lot to the game. I would have thought But it does. Oh, Gregson. Oh, and the Bobby. Mr. Gaideb and his wife. Mr. Natsume. Oh, bad. His feet. He's got big feet, this man. That's a pretty large cast all in all. Oh, yeah. Well, they're recycling a lot of characters in very clever ways, I would say. Lord Van Zeeks. Oh, the Skulkin brothers. Oh, Governor. Governor. And Gina. We're gonna see Gina again, pretty sure. Oh, she's gonna shoot us again. Makes me wonder how they translated all that in French. All the ways people speak. Gonna have to look at the playthrough. The Great Estonian Adventures. Fin. Whoa. Okay, so Adventures is the first part. The second part is I don't remember the name. I wrote it without knowing that's the word they would use. Ah, well, you can see the future. Okay, so what no. Special contents? What is that? Accolades, gallery. Any accolades you've accrued? Wait, what? Oh, it's the... Oh, okay. Achievements. Alright, alright. Oh. Episode 1 of the Greatest Estonian 2. Resolve. Resolve. Well, there aren't that many. It's pretty... I'd say it's pretty regular. A regular amount. For having examined the violin before talking with Iris about the Wilson topic in episode 4 of the Great Estonian Adventures. Oh, we haven't done that. What? There's something to do with the Skulkin brothers? And we missed it? Oh no! The Noodler. For erroneously answering Mr. Sean's question about who might have something that belonged to the convict in episode 2. What? We have to make mistakes to get achievements? What? Oh, maybe we're gonna see the Skulkin brothers again in the second part of the game. That would be great. Having dug around to find every argument about shovel and spades. Oh yeah, there was that. There was a discussion about shovel and spades. Which ones are for shoving and which ones are for digging. I don't know. I mean, you would say that shovels are for shoving, but who knows? Well, somebody knows, but for playing the game in all available outfits. Wait, there are several outfits. Iris's homemade sweet. What? Homemade dress. Oh, come on, what is this outfit? No, I refuse. Susan would never wear that. Japanese jumble mix. What? Oh, come on now. Outfits are only available for use in the Great SS22. Okay. Well, maybe this one. Maybe we can use this one. I mean, the cat mask. Isn't that? Is it a cat or? Oh yeah, it's a cat. Yeah. Oh no, I can't have him go around like that. I like this one. A bit more fit for Great Britain, I'd say. Escapades. Play some short extra episodes. Oh, we're gonna have to do that at some point. Wait, I just want to check if we continue, what happens? Wait, that's no... What? It's... What? We get back to... What? How do we play the other game? Adventures. Great Departure. Wait, do I have to buy it separately? Or maybe I have to buy it and I don't own it yet. Okay. That must be the problem here. But I'll solve that. Don't worry. All right. Well, that was great. I loved it. We might make a little pause. For a while, maybe a week. I don't know. Before going back to this, because I mean it's a very long game. Maybe we'll play something else in the meantime, but we'll definitely get back to it. All right. I really have to go to sleep. So thanks you for being here. Package 2. Have a good day. Are you on a vacation? Have a good rest of your day, everyone. Please take care, stay safe, you know, particularly with everything that's going on. Yeah, break until mid-January. Oh, nice. Well, enjoy your break. And I hope to see you soon, very soon, for more adventures. See ya.